in front shot. Oh my!
Here to celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the RWC Cup champions, are going to Coburn.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Coburn Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
Scores! Rebound score! And the Wellington Cup will go to the Buckland Championship.
Orange leads it away, he scores! And the Georgetown Raiders are Southwest Conference champions.
Scores! Roll the highlight film! How do you do?
Yes, the Buckland Cup concluded last weekend in dramatic fashion. All the crazy highlights are coming right up. It's the last show of the season today, and in addition to full Buckland Cup coverage, OJHL Commissioner Marty Savoy will join me to recap what was really a fantastic season. Also, the plays of the year playoff style later on. But first, OJ highlights, and through 3 games of the Buckland Cup final, Wellington led Georgetown 2-1. The Raiders had dropped the first 2 before smoking the Dukes 8-0 in Game 3 on home ice. The question was, could they continue their upward trend on the road in the hostile confines of the Duke Dome 2 nights later? OJ highlights now, brought to you by Cool Sports, official apparel provider to the OJHL.
Georgetown has shown they can definitely win on the road this postseason, but it's the Dukes that strike first. We pick it up in the second frame. 8:41 in. Ben Evans pouncing on the juicy rebound, and Wellington jumps out to the 1-0 advantage. It was the Matt McJanet show, however, in Game 4. Big Mac, huge for G-Town. He gets his first at the 11:09 mark to make it a 1-1 hockey game. And then his second, just a $1.50 later. Great playoffs for Matt overall, as he really elevated his game. Georgetown takes the 2-1 lead. Wellington would even it up 2:20 later, however. Andrew Barbeau just floats one in from the point. It tickles the twine behind Timpano, and it was all tied up at 2 apiece. This was just a crazy period, though. 2:28 later, Jason Smith takes the feed, snaps it past Jonah Capriati. Raiders retake the lead, up 3-2. Back to Big Mac. Now McJanet finds an opening past Jonah to make it 4-2, and it's a Hattie for Matty. 3 goals in the second frame alone, and the Raiders still weren't done. Derek McVeigh spots Andrew Court as wide open as a prairie field out front. Where was the D? 5-2 Raiders. They were taking no chances in the third. Jordan Crocker going for a skate. Gets denied, but guess who? McJanet there to put home his 4th of the game. What a performance by Big Mac. 6-2 Raiders. The final nail in the coffin. Dirk Stadig takes the feed out front, puts home his first career OJHL goal. 7-2 Georgetown, and that win tied the series up at 2 games apiece, heading back to Georgetown 2 nights later. So Wellington needed to bounce back in Game 5, and they did. But it's the Raiders to draw first blood. 3:36 in. Andrew Court tips home the shot to make it 1-0 G-Town. The Dukes were screaming that it was a high stick. Take another look. Point of contact right there. So it was close, but the goal stood. 1-0 Georgetown. Second period, Troy Timpano shining for the home team. He robs Jackson Arcan and Mr. Powers right there on the rebound. Moments later, another Raiders turnover right to Mitch Mendonca. Again, though, Timps off his line to save the day. Wellington outshot Georgetown 23-10 in the second, and eventually the Raiders get burned. Yetman gets credit for the deflection right there. But take another look at this one, because the big man for Georgetown, Jake Payette, right there, it actually goes in off his stick. So Mackenzie Warren should have got credit for the goal. The Dukes don't care, though. It was tied. That's all that mattered. Both teams, great chances to take the lead before the break. Bailey Malala putting it off the post for the Raiders, and then it's Mitch Mendonca returning the favor at the other end. That pesky iron getting in the way. Dukes take the lead in the third, short-handed no less.
Works it back. Oh, here we go. There goes Yatman, and Bryce Yatman breaks in to McGee. He scores! Teddy McGee bangs home the short-handed goal, and the Dukes take their first lead of the night, 2-1.
Alan Corkum with the call, and they would add an insurance marker 3 minutes later. Teddy McGee stopped. Andrew Rinaldi pokes it over the line. That makes it 3-1, and that extra goal proved to be huge for the Dukes because with the net empty, Andrew Court at the side of the net pulls the Raiders back to within a single tally. Unfortunately for them, that's as close as the Raiders would get on this day. Wellington takes it 3-2 and would have a chance to win the Buckland Cup on home ice the following night. Alumni update for you. Two guys signing in the NHL. Dennis Gilbert, who played for the Buffalo Junior Sabres, signs a 3-year deal with the Blackhawks. And St. Mike's buzzer Jake Evans signs a 2-year deal with Les Habitants. Congrats to both. Commitments to tell you about: Elijah Gonzalez of the Aurora Tigers will be an RIT Tiger in 2019-20. And Mac Lewis of the Trenton Golden Hawks will still be a Golden Hawk, but with Laurier as he signs for them for 18-19. Congrats to both. And the final North American rankings for the NHL draft: Jack McBain tops the list for OJ players at 35, followed by D-man Dustin McFall, Mason Snell of Wellington, Matt Kellenberger of the Oakville Blades, and yet another D-man, Declan Carlisle of the Buckland Cup champion Wellington Dukes. All on the list. Congrats, guys.
Hey folks, welcome back to the OJ Today. So Wellington had a chance to clinch the Buckland Cup title on home ice Sunday night. All through the playoffs, though, Georgetown had just refused to die. With its back against the wall numerous times, the Raiders had pulled some absolutely epic comebacks. So the question was, could the defending league champions pull a rabbit out of the hat one more time?
The atmosphere was electric at the Duke Dome, over 1,100 on hand. That's about 2/3 of the town's population. Unreal. A packed house as they were hoping the Dukes could bring home the title. The series had seen some dramatic shifts so far, but things had settled down significantly in Game 5 after 3 consecutive blowouts, and it's the visitors that hit the score sheet first. Matt McJanet, 4 goals here in Game 4, and he continues his hot play, making it 1-0 Raiders, and a vocal contingent of Georgetown fans had made their way out for the big game, and they liked the hot start. They would add a second. Jake Payette's point shot gets redirected right there by Justin Paul, past Jonah Capriati, and the Raiders were playing the role of road warriors up 2-0 at the break. The Dukes came out like a house of fire in the second, though. Georgetown can't clear the zone. My captain, Colin Doyle, shovels home the rebound, and the home side cuts the deficit to 2-1 in front of the big, enthusiastic home crowd at the Duke Dome. And then it's Timpano again making the initial stop here, but once again the rebound gets smashed behind him. Frank Pucci this time, and just like that, they were all tied up at 2 apiece, and Wellington was just relentless in the second. Again, Georgetown pinned in its own end. Josh Saprika with the sweet solo effort. Roof Daddy on the backhand too, beautiful. 3 unanswered goals by the Dukes to give them the 3-2 lead. But G-Town gets one back just before the break. Innocent little point shot coming up here by Austin Cho. Capriati can't see a thing. In it goes. And the Raiders needed that boost after giving up 3 straight. Third period solved nothing, so this one was off to overtime.
Got it to Mendonca, sent goalward. And there is Pucci. Mendonca swings and misses and got his stick tangled up with a Raider player. This is Snell now at the point. Bet across. Mendonca delays, shoots. Nice blocker save made by Timpano. It rolls around past the referee. Evans, Bunty, they score! Frank Pucci, the game winner, and the Buckland Cup winner, the Wellington Dukes, for the first time in 7 years, are the supremacy of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. They are crowned winners in 2018. They're going to the Dudley Hewitt in Dryden, Ontario.
Trophy as the playoff MVP of your Wellington Dukes, number 17,
Oh, you know, Evie got it down low. Great work. You know, he saw Pooch going to the net back door. He faked it going around, slipped it back door, and Poochie put it in the empty net. Hell of a play. Can't really describe it right now, but I'm just so proud of everyone. You know, we battled through so much adversity this year, and it really paid off.
The Wellington Dukes will now represent the OJHL 2019 Dudley Europe Cup, being held from May 1st to May 5th in Georgetown, Ontario. The competition for the Central Canadian Junior A Championship and the right to compete for the RBC Cup National Junior A Championship. Congratulations once again to the 2017-18 Junior A Champion, Joy Wellington Dukes.
Oh, back and forth series, just like you said. You know, we went up early and then kind of collapsed a little bit, but, you know, we bounced back like we've been doing all year, and here we are again. All year we've been a team that never gives up. Got down early too, and we came back, just kept on driving, kept on pushing, and here we are, we're champions now.
I think it showed our resiliency and our determination to always work hard, you know. We battled back all playoffs, and it just showed in that series. It feels unbelievable. All the boys bought in tonight and gave their all, and we just can't wait to go to the dud.
Well, it's a heck of a run, you know. 4 rounds in the playoffs and battling 2 7-round series, playing top teams in both conferences. It's amazing. It's amazing how a team can come together and find resilience and do what it takes to win these types of things. And I'm really just proud of all the guys. They did a hell of a job.
Hey folks, welcome back to the OJ today, and he's a very busy guy, so I'm going to cut him a break here. It's the first time we've had him on all year, but I'm teasing him. Very happy to have the commish himself on the show, Mr. Marty Savoy, joining us. Mr. Commissioner, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, Alex, and I do apologize not being on before, but as you say, it's been a whirlwind of a season.
Just a little bit busy, just a touch busy. And speaking of which, the Buckland Cup just finished up last weekend. And I know you wanted to touch on this really quick. I mean, what an amazing series between two fantastic organizations. I mean, 6 games and an overtime winner in 6 games nonetheless to get it done. Just talk about that and what a great series it was.
Yeah, you know, it seems year after year when you get down to the final 2, they end up being pretty good hockey teams. And when you put 2 pretty good hockey teams on the ice to play a 7-game series, you get that type of games. You know, as staff, we kind of sit down when there's 2 teams left. We say, who do we want to represent us moving on to the deadly and possible RBC? And it was a coin toss for us. Either organization, from ownership to coaches to staff to players to fans all the way down, I think either one would have represented us unbelievable. And the last game to be in Wellington and have a packed house with their fans down there. A number of Georgetown fans made the trip down the road, and it was just an outstanding game. For it to go into overtime and to win it that way, it just seems, you know, it's almost fitting that that's the way it should end.
Heartbreaking for Georgetown, but they were the Buckland Cup champs this year. It flips to Wellington this year. Just a quick note on Wellington, because they are a very unique story. The smallest junior A center in all of Canada. I believe the town has less than 2,000 people. They were almost all in the rink last night. It was sold out completely. It was such a great atmosphere. But just talk a little bit more about Wellington as a town and a junior hockey center and how unique that is.
Well, it is pretty unique. I don't think there's anything like it in the country. As you said, it has to be the smallest community that has a junior A franchise, and you know, they used to play out of the old Duke Dome, and now they have the brand new facility there, and so they shouldn't have a facility of that size, but they do. They shouldn't have a junior A club because of the size, but they do. And they have some of the best fans in the entire country. The Legion of Duke fans that follow that team wherever they go. The bus loads follow them around. They're diehards. They really love their club. And if you ever get a chance to go down to Wellington and go into the new Duke Dome, they treat you like family in there, from Betty at the front all the way up and down the organization. They just do an unbelievable job, and they put some pretty good hockey teams on the ice as well.
They definitely have, and it was an amazing atmosphere on Sunday night. Just the playoffs in general, to get a comment from you, because it was something special this year. I can't remember the last time there were so many close games and overtime games as well. I mean, the Patriots-Oakville series is just one that comes to mind, the amount of games that actually went to OT, but it was really a great playoff run this year, wasn't it, the chase of the Buckland Cup?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I think at one time going into the second or third round, we did the stats, and something like 43% of the games went into overtime, which is unheard of.
Amazing.
I bet we couldn't track to see if the league's ever done that. But I think a lot of it goes back to the parity of the league, where our organizations, a lot of the coaches and general managers and hockey ops staff are going out and finding players that, you know, we have a lot of good hockey players in this province, and we strive to, I think we're about 99% players from Ontario born in our league. And I think this year it just was a kind of a microcosm of what the talent of the league overall has.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's just quickly take a little look back at the season here. It started with the Governor's Showcase back in September in Buffalo. We had the Eastern Canada Cup. Of course, the Mississauga Chargers hosted the CJHL Prospects game, which was a huge success at the beautiful Port Credit Arena. Tons of NHL scouts. Completely sold out the game. Jack McBain got shown off, of course, a potential first-round pick. Just overall, the season this year, what were your thoughts on it?
It seems like each year we get busier and busier with everything we do. You know, you're right. We started off in Buffalo with Larry Playfair and his group down at the Harbor Center. Did an outstanding job. It's the most scouts we've probably ever had down there. We try to treat them right because they help us with our product and moving the kids on. Then we're fortunate to go down the road to Trenton, and that group did an outstanding job. The town of Quinte West should just be applauded by not just the way they supported it, but they had their own man hours that they put into making sure the event was successful for all 5 leagues. The 10 leagues were there. And then Lloyd and Carol Sockley did an awesome job when it came to the prospects. You know, there was a sold out building. I believe there's, again, the number of NHL scouts. Every team was there. And these are the events that we want to put on for a number of reasons. One, for the branding of the OJHL. But first and foremost, and most importantly, is to get our elite players in front of scouts and help them move on. And every year we keep trying to improve it more and more. And I think last year was just a great example of how when we can put a national event like the CJHL Prospects game on, we sold it out. Scouts were all attended. And again, overall it was an outstanding game.
We've got about a minute 30 left here, Marty. But just, next season, we just finished up with this one, and it seems like the next one's going to be right around the corner. It comes very fast. What are some of the things the league will be working on in the off season? What's key for you? Some of the things coming up for the league.
Well, I think the focus we're doing now with Rick Morocco and the new director of hockey ops, Chris Vanstone, in the office here is, this past year we just ran the most successful combine we've ever had. We're going into the OJDHL, our spring league, and then leading into the next season, the whole digital media plan and strategy that we have. This show is a great big part of it. You're a huge part of it, Alex. The whole kind of where we're going to go forward to bring our product out to our fans and to our scouts. We're spending a lot of time looking at it. We're strategically looking at what the most advantage we were able to push it forward. And I think in the coming weeks here, hopefully there's going to be some announcements coming out of the league that's going to be excited for players, fans, and everybody involved in the OJ.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was really a great season all around. I know, really quick, Marty, we've got about 20 seconds here. You just wanted to say one more time, of course, the OJ and the condolences to the victims of the Humboldt bus crash. And we've really seen some great stuff from the league. All the teams that were still involved did some nice little ceremonies, didn't they?
Yeah, Alex, it's great that you brought that up. I think it's something that we have to make sure that we allow these families in this community to grieve. And the next step is to honor them. I know going into the W Hewitt Cup, there's going to be things planned as well, and same with the RBC. But it's just, again, everybody out in the hockey community, especially in the junior A community, our thoughts and prayers are there, and our support to their commissioner, Bill Chow, and all 12 of their teams is anything we can do with their brothers out east here, and we continue to offer whatever support we can.
Well said. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner, for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, more OJ today coming up in just a moment. Hey folks, welcome back to the OJ today. So Wellington is off to the Dudley Hewitt Cup and another OJHL season is in the books. The postseason this year will no doubt go down as one of the most competitive in recent memory. So many games went to overtime, so many incredible goals, hits, saves, and dramatic moments. Here's a look back now at the best of the best, the top plays from this year's OJ playoffs.
20 seconds remaining here. In regulation time, Lowry with a nifty move by 7. Lowry scores! Lowry with a dandy. Here comes Dixon picking it up. Josh Dixon flying to the wing. He shoots Muse. See the rebound. Oh, what a save by Muse! Stretching out the big pad to Rob Crocker.
You kick him out, just tells him redo that. There it is. There it is. Oh, baby, I'm buying a lottery ticket after that one.
Turn feed from Mai. Luciani in the corners. Turning off a check. Royals coming, pressing. Luciani walks in front, pass. Rebound, scores!
Blair wins that battle, gets it back from Vandenherk, fakes the shot, fakes twice. Third shot, scores!
At the line, McDonald now. He's got Savoy 2-on-1. McDonald to Savoy scores! And Trent wins it in overtime.
McFall tied up by Panetta, grabbed by Tegan Katsumi, sent ahead to Andrew Hughes. Hughes driving in, gets hooked up and scores on a delayed penalty.
And referee, Mo scores! Rex Mo with an ending.
Out in front, turnover. Campoli in the slot, waits, shot,
Scores! Nick Campoli! Oh my God! Overtime winner!
Matthews, Spagnolo, right wing side. Spagnolo scores! Dante's Inferno!
Smith busting, here comes Jason Smith coming to the net. Makes a custom move, he shoots, there's a rebound, they score! Justin Bell scores and sends the Raiders to the Southwest Conference Final!
Duke sends it up front of the goal. Doyle has it stopped by Langevin as he reaches up and gets a glove on Doyle, who is alone in front, and keeps this 1-0.
They've got Kalasic. He's got Bannister in the back door.
Ball will try to keep it in now. Dobson does, they score! And the Cougars win game 2 in overtime.
Wellington 1, Carlisle shot highlight. Oh my! Great save! Somebody call the cops! He just robbed Wellington.
Here he comes once again, Maya and Graham. Graham's got the puck. What can he do with it? Graham takes a look in front. Scores! There it is, baby! With 54 seconds to go! Oakville takes the lead, 3-2.
Evans trying to tie up Trotman. Send it in front of the goal. They score! They score with 0.6 seconds on the clock. He's up ahead on the right wing side. Into the middle for Doyle. Doyle with a shot. Scores! 19 seconds. The captain ends the series.
Vane a little slow skating. Hopefully he gets a change soon. Iguana going right towards the net. Going behind. Helis on him. Sent out, scores. What a play by Anthony Iguana.
Goes across. Terchiev looks to keep bringing it in. He does the Paneo. Paneo the shot. Scores! Holy jumping, what a shot.
Heavy pressure, bad clearing. Tigers by Wellington back door. Oh, what a save rebound. Oh, baby, what a save. Now it's Paul. Down deep for McJanet. Oh, to McVeigh. McVeigh makes a move. Oh, my goodness. Hughes, did he make the save there? Oh, my, it stays out.
Polo. He's given a tough time by Iguano. Patriots now. They have a man open on the point. They throw this one in the front of the net. They score. Dante's Inferno. And his mom
gives it right to McCutcheon. Former teammates in Whitby perhaps thought they were still playing together there for a moment. Centering pass, scores!
I think the Patriots are going to have to be aware of how fast Timpano can move that puck. Good job, backdoor man. Scores! Jordan Crocker gives them the lead. For all intents and purposes, no! There it is! 2.3 seconds, overtime!
Here comes Wilkie on a one-on-one. Wilkie loads, fires, score! Zach Wilkie rips it wide. 7:50 to go. That home run pass broken up. Bumps it at a counterattack. Oh, big hit! Oh, my!
Tucker comes down on the forecheck. 1-on-1, toe-check, shot, scores! Oh my goodness gracious!
And Ibosin takes a shot. Oh, and it misses the net. Lell gets knocked in. Here comes Allison with a shot. He scores! Zach Elson.
Pass into the middle for Prestia. Turned around though. Yet, but a shot! Scores!
No, they can't call. There's Prestia coming in. Prestia makes a nice move. He scores! Oh, what a move and what a goal! Nick Prestia, his second of the night. 8-0 Raiders.
Rolls around past the referee. Evans, blind feed, they score! Frank Pucci, the game winner, and the Buckland Cup winner, the Wellington Dukes, for the first time in 7 years, are the supremacy of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. They are crowned winners in 2018. They're going to the Dudley Hewitt in Dryden, Ontario.
Yeah, what a great year it was. We are all out of time for this week, and that is actually a wrap for the season. Before we go, though, I just want to say a huge, sincere thank you to all the people who helped make the show a success this year, all the guests who came on to add their analysis each week, all the videographers who supplied footage. The OJHL seriously has some of the best in the business, and they do incredible work. And to Lou, John, and Miro here in the studio for all their great work. Remember to check out ojhl.ca for all your OJ updates in the offseason. And of course, you've got all your social media options to check out there as well. Thank you so much for watching all season, and we'll see you next fall.